All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
Welcome to this weekend's NASCAR Quick Hit here for Ship It Nation. I am Eric, also known as TheGame on Discord, and today we will be discussing the Great American Getaway 400 taking place at a track that is so close to my heart, Pocono Raceway. But before we go ahead and break down the Great American Getaway 400 at the Pocono Raceway, let me, of course, mention, you already know, ShipItNation.com, everything you need to have success with DFS for less. That's right, one-stop shopping for all things DFS, all sports, Saber Sim, projections and ownership, the Stone 2.0. If you thought the Stone was cool before, the Stone 2.0 is even better. Slate plans, showdown content, Discord access, the best community in DFS. The Discord is fantastic. And of course, educational courses from Hoop and the Boys, your one-stop shop for all things DFS. If you haven't joined ShipItNation.com before and you want to give us a try, 5 days. $19 gets you everything you see here on the screen, including Saber Sim access, the greatest optimizer in the game today. 5 days, $19. Of course, you already know we have the all access packages if you want either all access, or we, of course, do single sports. If you're only interested in my NASCAR content, $29 a month, or annually is, of course, cheaper, $49 a month with Saber Sim access, or, of course, again, cheaper if you go annually. And, of course, content only, baby. If you want content only without the Saber Sim access, $24 per week, $79 per month, or once again, $59 per year. ShipItNation.com, everything you need to have success with DFS for less. NBA Finals have been amazing in the Discord. The MMA tomorrow is at the White House. That's they're doing a different captains only slate, so those boys have been working on that content. PGA is here. NFL and college football will be right around the corner. There is a wreck in the Pocono Xfinity race right now. Corey Day, hard into the wall, lap one. Sorry, I saw race cars wrecking and I got excited. So anyway, ShipItNation.com, everything you need to have success with DFS for less. All right. Hey, Ship It Nation. Of course. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Great American Getaway 400 at Pocono Raceway. Let me go ahead and fire up the Stone here. 1 second. The Stone. There we go. Share this tab. This weekend, there are 160 laps on deck, which equals out to 112 total Dominator points. And by the way, the qualifying has shaken up. I'm recommending at least one potential Dominator per lineup. We have a couple of chalk donkeys in the back, and we have a couple of heavy hitters up front. So at least one per lineup, probably two. I think most people will be using two, but like I said, we do have a couple chalk donkeys starting at the rear that we will want to get access to. Practice and qualifying notes. Practice was mostly uneventful. The Xfinity practice was crazy. There's all kinds of accidents and stuff in the Xfinity practice, but the Cup practice was fairly uneventful. Qualifying, however, was a different story. Bubba Wallace crashed in his qualifying attempt, and he will be starting absolutely dead last on the field. They do not know if they will be rolling out a backup car or fixing their primary car just yet, but it doesn't matter regardless because they are starting dead last, 38th. They're starting in the back. And Brad Keselowski had an engine issue during his qualifying session, and he will be starting right next to Bubba in 37th. So like I said, we have two chalk donkeys with Bad Brad starting 37th and Bubba starting 38th. Brad has been fantastic and has had fantastic success here at Pocono Raceway. And Bubba Wallace is in a really fast 23 XI11 Toyota. These two drivers will get a ton of ownership, will get a ton of love from everywhere, etc. Two very heavy chalk donkey plays in Brad Keselowski and Bubba Wallace. Let's go ahead and do a quick rundown of the starting lineup, because earlier in the week I mentioned, or I think even last weekend's video, I mentioned that I will be boots on the ground Saturday at Pocono Raceway. However, as I said, as I got excited, I'm not at Pocono Raceway today because I'm going to Pocono Raceway tomorrow. That's right, boots on the ground for ShipItNation.com. I will be at Pocono Raceway for the Cup race tomorrow. So that's why I want to get this content cranked out very, very early, or at least the video portion, because I feel like the projections and stuff will be coming overnight tonight. So anyway, starting on the pole to literally nobody's surprise is Denny Hamlin. I think his average finish over the last 3 Pocono races is 1.7. Yep, 1.7. So Denny Hamlin is by far, in a way, everybody's top Dominator play. He's been on fire these past 2 weeks. He's been sent to the rear for one reason or the other these past 2 weeks and drove through the front without any issues and won both of these last 2 races. Now we're at a track where it's a 1.7 average finish for Denny Hamlin. So, like I said, Denny Hamlin, odds-on favorite to win, and for good reason. Starting next to him, Kyle Larson, no slouch. He had some good sprint car success this weekend, so that leads to good speed in the Cup car, it seems like. So Larson's fast. A couple surprises up next, Daniel Suarez and Ty Gibbs. Suarez has been fast all season. Not great success at Pocono, but those practice speeds are not to be joked about. And his price is right, 7,700 on DraftKings plus 6,600 to win. I think they're both solid bets after how fast he's been. Ty Gibbs, he's in a Joe Gibbs car. Love it. Chase Briscoe, 5th. Last year's winner, led 70-plus laps at Pocono. Fantastic, fantastic play. I got to text my wife here one quickly. Yes. Believe so. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. So, like I said, Chase Briscoe led 70 laps last year en route to win. Fantastic at Pocono Raceway, and he's in a fast Joe Gibbs car. Chris Buescher, always a fantastic play, always fantastic at Pocono Raceway, starting at 6th. Eric Jones and John Hunter Nemechek, the Legacy Motor Club boys. Eric Jones has had fantastic speed recently, really good. I like him. I think he'll be able to keep up there all day. And for 5,900, John Hunter, he had speed in practice. He backed it up in qualifying. I don't mind taking a shot. So both Eric Jones and John Hunter Nemechek, I think, are viable plays this weekend. Next up, William Byron and Ryan Blaney. William Byron is still searching for that dominating performance this year. He was great in long run practice, and Ryan Blaney won this race, I believe, in in the next gen he won. I forget what year he won, but he is a next gen winner at Pocono. Not the best in practice, not the best in practice at all, frankly. Still managed a really good qualifying run, though. So, as always, he's fast week in, week out. He's always in play. Teammate Joey Logano is in 11th. He had similar speed to Blaney in practice. He's cheaper than Blaney and in the same equipment. So if you're willing to, if you want to play Blaney, but you want to save some money, just pivot to Logano and hope for the best. Same equipment, one spot back, should be less ownership. Next up, Alex Bowman and Michael McDowell. Alex Bowman, tough year. Good qualifying effort. Hopefully he's able to keep it up there. Spire cars seem fast. Mike Mack, don't mind taking a chance on him, especially at 6,300 or 6,300 cheap. Austin Hill, That's still going to be a no for me. Cole Custer is still going to be a no for me. Tyler Reddick starting 16th. Yup. A's across the board, plus 625 on the books. Fantastic here at Pocono. Not the greatest practice, but that doesn't bother me too much. He should be able to work his way through the field. Lord knows he has the rest of this season. Austin Cindric, he'll be in the pool to start with. He might be a click off. Don't love him because I'd much rather play Zane at 6,800. It seems like whenever Zane has decent speed in practice and qualifies like up in the upper half of the field, he does really good. So I'm going to continue that trend for Zane Smith. So instead of playing Cindric, I'll probably just drop down to Zane. Next up, the Dinger and Josh Berry. Passes for me on both. Collie cars are pretty much always a pass for me since they are a solo team without any factory support. And Josh Berry is now a lame duck. He announced that he is not going to be with the Wood Brothers next year. So not the greatest fan of Josh Berry going forward. So I'm off on him. I would expect to see his price tag start to drop as well. 6,600 for Josh Berry. Not the greatest. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Christopher Bell up next. Ricky Stenhouse, I don't mind taking a chance on. Yes, he's been Fs across the board, but I have seen him run decent here in the past. Maybe not so much in the next gen era, but in previous eras. So I wouldn't mind. I'm not going to go out of my way to play Ricky Stenhouse Jr., but if he would make it into my lineups, I'm not going to be too overly upset. Christopher Bell was in for a hell of a day. He's racing with a fractured wrist. He seems to be okay. I mean, okay enough where like he's giving interviews, he's happy. It doesn't seem to be hampering him too much in the car, but all of his teammates are first, fourth, and fifth, and he's back in 22nd. So it has to be hampering him some way. And that boy has San Diego and Sears Point coming up. So tough stretch for Christopher Bell. But however, thank God he is okay. That was such a tremendous accident last week at Michigan. Lord, thank God for the next gen. Yes, it doesn't give us the best racing all the time, but it definitely saved Christopher Bell's life for sure. So that Bell boy is going to have a hard, rough day tomorrow, and probably an equally hard, if not rougher, day in San Diego and in Infineon. Next up, Chase Elliott. He is also a winner at Pocono based off his A+. However, he did not lead any laps in his victory. His victory was via disqualification back in, I believe it was 22 or 23. Denny Hamlin won the race and then was promptly disqualified due to some sort of tape or pulling tape or some sort of something off the nose of his car. It was very minute. And then second place finisher, the late Kyle Busch, was then also disqualified as well for the same thing. So, Chase Elliott led 0 laps to his to his Pocono Raceway victory. I don't mind the play. It's a Hendrick Motorsports car. Chase has had speed all season, but those practice speeds look bad. Now he was in Group A, but then he backed that up with a 23rd place qualifying effort. So, I'm not going to go out of my way playing Chase Elliott. Ross Chastain and Riley Herbst up next. I'm not crazy for Ross, even though he was good in practice. That Trackhouse team just seems to be struggling. Riley Herbst, his price tag is slowly and quietly going up. He looked really good in practice. He is in good equipment. He is in a lame duck, but he has shown progress this year, unlike Josh Berry. So I'm not playing Josh Berry because of his lame duck status, but I will be playing Riley Herbst because he's in good equipment. Hocevar and Ty Dillon up next. Hocevar, yes, only 8,700 for Hocevar. Looks great in practice, not the greatest qualifying effort. He will be a popular play. Ty Dillon, nope. He's in that colleague car, just like I explained for AJ Allmendinger. Colleague is in Chevys, but they don't get any factory support from Chevrolet and or any other Chevrolet teams because they drive Rams in the Truck Series. And when Ram comes to Cup Series, they'll probably be Colleague's flagship team or Dodge's flagship team, etc. So That's why they're struggling so much. And when they do good, it's so surprising and impressive because they're really out there like against everybody else. Next up, Connor Zilic and Todd Gilliland. Zilic looked good in Group A practice, but he's having the worst rookie season in the history of rookie seasons, so it's a no from me there. Gilly, probably going to pass on him this week. Noah Gragson, probably going to pass on him this week. Noah Gragson was really funny on the well, it's not bussing with the boys. It's like racing with the boys or something. It's the bussing with the boys people. Him and Chase Briscoe were fantastic on there this week. So if you haven't and or are looking for some NASCAR content that's not me to check out, go ahead and check that out. I think that was a funny listen. Shane Van Gisbergen in 31st. No, not today. Austin Dillon, no. Cody Ware, no. Daniel Dye. How about him failing upwards? No. Ryan Preece, yeah, absolutely. 6,900. He does not have the best history here at Pocono, does not have the greatest practice speeds, but I'll still take a chance on Ryan Preece in the RFK Ford. Casey Mears, no. And then the Chalk Donkeys themselves, Brad Keselowski and Bubba Wallace starting 37th and 38th. Once again, as I mentioned earlier, Brad Keselowski had an engine issue during his qualifying run, which is his 37th place qualifying effort, and Bubba Wallace crashed into the tunnel turn, which is turn 2. I was listening to the radio. That's a little fun fact. I normally listen to practice and qualifying because I think MRN and PRN do a much, much better job describing the action, even though you can see it on the television broadcast. Are they wrecking again? Another wreck? Pocono's Xfinity cannot handle Pocono. It's lap 8. I looked over the TV. There's another wreck going on. But anyway, what I found interesting about Bubba Wallace was he declined his interview, which, okay, I understand that. You just smashed your primary car in qualifying. Not the greatest, right? Declined his interview, and the commentator stated that he was just sitting there staring at the vehicle, just like in awe or like in disgust, like of like what happened of himself, etc. So that doesn't put Bubba Wallace in a great mental space, in my opinion, going into Sunday's race. And there's a chance that this is a bad stretch for Bubba. Like if Sunday goes bad, starting dead last, if he doesn't have a really great positive day, the next 2 races are the San Diego road course and then Sears Point. That 2 road courses back to back. So if he doesn't have a good day on Sunday, I think it's going to be a tough stretch here for Bubba Wallace. But anyway, that's it for me. Like I said, it's 4:30 on Saturday afternoon when I am recording this. There's already been 2 wrecks in the Xfinity practice. I now have a slate plan to write and projections and ownership to craft and all of that fun stuff. For members of Ship It Nation, like I mentioned, I will be boots on the ground in Pocono tomorrow. What does that mean for you fine folks? That means that I have no cell phone service almost all the time when I go to Pocono. When I get there, it works in the beginning, but then when 100,000 plus people show up, it goes to shit. So I will probably not be able to be reached at all tomorrow. I will, of course, send an alert to the Discord with all of this information, as well as please keep diligent for any drivers who are sent to the rear. It's nice that Brad Keselowski and Bubba Wallace are starting in the rear because even if they go through wholesale changes, it don't matter. They're keeping their in the rear starting position, which is great for us for DFS. But like I said, you want to make sure to keep cognizant of drivers to the rear. And you can always tag me with questions, but there's a great chance I won't see it till like after 5 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm driving back from Pocono. Green flag start time has been moved up to 1 in the afternoon as well. So that was a 3 o'clock start earlier, and now it is a 1 o'clock start, which is also fantastic. So anyway, that is it for me here at Ship It Nation. Thank you once again, and I hope everybody enjoys the Tricky Triangle as much as I will on Sunday. We'll be back next week with San Diego content. Let's ship it.